Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So, Cam Heyward, he lets the cat out of the bag after the game yesterday, talking about the defense. And before I jump into what Cam had to say, I have a question to ask you. Would Bill Cowher, Chuck Noll, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Jimmy Johnson, would they allow players on any side of the ball to play football and not play do their assignments? Would they allow them to play? Would they allow them to be on the field week after week after they continuously said by their actions, we're not following our assignment. We're going to do it our way. We don't care about what the head coach says. We don't care about what the defensive coordinator says. It's our way, not your way. Would any of those coaches allow that? And before I jump into what Cam had to say, I'm going to put it to you like this. For weeks, for years, forget weeks, for years, all we hear about the defense is communication issues and guys on the defense not doing their assignment. And you know whose fault that is? Do you know who that boils down to? That is on the coaches. Because when you have players that do that, they get a warning or two, boom, on the bench, cut or traded. That's it. You don't put up with it. But our players, the Pittsburgh Steelers players, they don't fear Coach Tomlin. They don't fear Terrell Austin at all. And we know this. You know how we know this? Because there's players on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense like Cam Heyward who come out and tell us that after the game. Let's jump in and see what Cam had to say. I think sometimes we were not paying attention to our assignments, Heyward said after the win. Thankfully, those moments when the defense peaked or got a little thirsty, as Heyward put it, didn't cost the team a win. Where have we heard this before? So Cam Heyward comes out and says after the win that guys are going off script and just doing what the hell they want to do. The Pittsburgh Steelers gave up 116 rushing yards yesterday to the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots rushed for 4 yards of carry. I don't want to hear, well, it was the quarter. Oh, my God. That's even worse. I heard Pittsburgh Steelers insiders say, well, a lot of those rushing yards came from the quarterback. That's even worse. What the hell are you talking about? This is the NFL. Quarterbacks shouldn't be running on you. What are you talking about? And you wonder why. When the hell are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to keep an opposing offense under 100 yards rushing? 299 yards to the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs for a loss. 185 yards to the New York Jets. 125 yards to the Seattle Seahawks. 116 yards to the New England Patriots. These are bad teams. Obviously, Baltimore's not a bad team. These are not good football teams. What do you think Derrick Henry's going to do to us again? What the hell are you all talking about? Oh, it was the quarterback. That doesn't really count. Well, look at the running backs average. The running backs didn't do much. Well, the quarterback only got those because he escaped the pocket and ran down. That's even worse. A slow quarterback? Well, we only gave up 60 yards to a slow quarterback running the ball. What the hell are you talking about? The quarterback, when you play a real Pittsburgh Steelers defense, when you play an elite defense like we heard all summer, this is going to be a legendary bunch. Legendary. When you play a legendary bunch, quarterbacks are scared to run the football. And then you had Patrick Queen come out, I think 2 days ago, and he goes, some players on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense were a bit starstruck, and they're thinking that everybody else is going to do the job. Really? You're starstruck? Who the hell could they have brought new onto the defense that you'd be starstruck by? Jalen Ramsey? Hold on. Timeout. Timeout. You play with TJ Watt pretty much your whole career. What the hell are you talking about? It's just, what are we doing here? What is going on here? Who is coaching these players? Who is allowing this mentality on the team in the locker room? Like this is such a joke. This is a disgrace. Cam Hayward's a captain on the team, and he's telling you, oh, guys are they're just going off script, trying to make a play. They're doing what they want. Bill Cowher, Chuck Noll, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Jimmy Johnson. How long do you think they're putting up with that for? Because if you're not willing to send a message to your team that nobody's above what my way, nobody, and if you do it your way, you're out of here. And that's what should happen. Doesn't matter who it is. There's no nobody's above the team. Nobody's bigger than the team. Do your job, do your assignment, and if you don't want to do it, we'll get somebody else in here that will do. And I put this on Coach Tomlin. I say today's players are difficult to coach because of the personalities and social media stars, but the bottom line is you have to win. You could be a player's coach. Dick LeBeau was a player's coach, but he never screamed, he never cursed. But the players respected him so much and they loved him so much, they did their assignments to the best of their ability. Well, you know what I see? From my perspective, you know what I see? How the players look at Coach Tomlin, the ones that aren't doing their assignments, they don't respect him. That's what this is. It's a lack of respect. F you, I'll do it my way. It's a lack of respect. Then it just keeps getting better. I read this article. Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator. Now think about this. Y.A. Black is 6'5", 350 pounds, your biggest man on the defense, absolutely enormous. We saw that he could take on double teams. You can't get him off the ball. He just anchors in. He's got those super long arms. He's taking up blocks. And let's put the NFL to the side for a minute. Remember as a kid, your biggest guy that was kind of heavy, he wanted to play football, but he couldn't run. He had the athleticism, but he's just so big. What did every Pop Warner team do with him? They made him the nose guard, correct? You're going to say, oh, your comparison's absolutely ridiculous. This is the NFL. Well, why did you put him at nose guard in Pop Warner? To take up space, eat up blocks. If he got any pressure, fine. If he didn't, as long as he took on blocks and let everybody else run free, we were happy. But somehow, some way, this is too difficult for Coach Tomlin and Coach Austin. They're just the smartest coaches to ever play in the NFL. Can't you tell based on how well the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is playing? This is what Terrell Austin had to say about Y.A. Black playing nose guard. Don't want to screw him up. Steelers DC explains why Y.A. Black isn't playing nose tackle. He doesn't want to screw him up. Oh, well, you are? Really? You're not? Well, what are you doing then? What are you doing? You going to put him at defensive back? Defensive end, linebacker. Oh, better yet, let's put him at receiver and then let's try quarterback. No, it's not a no-go, Austin said about Black playing nose tackle via transcript provided by the Steelers media department. I think where he is right now, again, he gives us some options out there because we do have between Daniel Akule and Keanu Benton, two guys that can play inside where he can play outside. He can play them both. I think right now that's where Black's been practicing, doing a lot of his work. You don't want to really upend him and screw him up and put him inside and give him a full boat inside because the blocking schemes are different. The things that come at you are a little different. Back in August, with the preseason winding down, Austin said Y.A. Black would absolutely see time at nose tackle. Oh, he changed his mind. Go figure. I do agree with you. He's a big, strong man, and he can eat up double teams, and he can get off blocks, and he's only going to get better, he said of Black. I hope once we get back to full health, we'll be able to start teaching him a little bit inside in addition to the outside stuff. Translation, they have no plan. They have no sense of urgency. It's already going to be week 4. The Steelers defense is playing absolutely horrible, and we have no urgency from the coaching staff to fix it whatsoever. Oh, you know what? When other guys get healthy, maybe we'll fix it. We'll get around to it. Yeah, maybe like week 10, week 9, Christmas time. If we feel like getting around to it, because after all, he plays inside and he plays outside. And well, hold on a minute. He could play inside, he could play outside, but he can't play nose tackle. So once again, Coach Tomlin and Terrell Austin, they have no clear plan. They don't make a solid decision. Let's stop effing around. Let's put Wyatt Black at nose guard. He's 6'5", 350. He can anchor in. He can take on offensive linemen because obviously what we have right now is not working. So let's at least see if this can work. But hey, no, take your time. Now we'll let everybody get. You know what? Even if you have a broken fingernail, we're gonna let that heal before we fix it. So we'll get around to it around week 15. I don't know how Art Rooney could be sitting in his office today or at practice or whatever he's doing and watch Coach Tomlin and Coach Austin and think to himself, the Pittsburgh Steelers are headed in the right direction. I don't know how anybody could think that right now. And I've defended Tomlin here or there. You know, if this gets better, we could do this. Who else would you rather have? Well, guess what? At this point, I want to have John Gruden as the head coach. He's still young enough. He has the passion, the energy. He loved Will Howard and John Gruden's quarterback sit down. He can develop Will Howard. He's going to hold everybody accountable. There's going to be no BS. I think the fan base will be super energized by Chucky coming to Pittsburgh. I think the place will go absolutely crazy if the Pittsburgh Steelers hire John Gruden as their head coach. Absolutely crazy. I think it'll be wild on game days. Absolutely wild. I think Jabril Peppers needs to be the starting safety next to Deshaun Elliott. I don't want to hear free, strong, whatever. We need to get the best players on the field. I think Jabril Peppers needs to replace Juan Thornhill. He needs to be out there full time with Deshaun Elliott and Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb, if Peyton Wilson doesn't want to perform, if he can't stop the run, I think Cole Holcomb should be out there and take his place, get majority of the snaps. If things ain't working, they have to change things. Because obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers, what we're doing right now is not working. And you're going to say, how could you say such a thing? How could you say such a thing? The Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday had 4 forced fumbles and recovered every one. They had an interception. That's 5 turnovers. Then they had 5 sacks on top of that. And they only scored 21 points. That was one of the worst football games I've ever seen in my entire life. And don't tell me you weren't thinking what I was thinking. Because going into halftime, when the Patriots started to come back a little bit, I said to myself, if the Steelers lose this game, I don't know how Coach Tomlin keeps his job after this game. I mean, Art Rooney's not going to fire him, but I'm just thinking to myself, I would find it impossible for him not to. I can't see him finishing the season if Coach Tomlin loses this game right now. That's how bad that football game was. And then after the game, Coach Tomlin seemed to be pretty happy with the performance that he just saw on the field against the New England Patriots. Gloating over the victory. Beaming. Hey, look, I'm not telling you can't be happy after a win. I'm really not. A win is a win. I'll give you that. But if you're really honest with yourself and you look, who knows? Maybe Coach Tomlin's looking in the mirror and says, I did a great job today. We fought hard. We won. Maybe he really believes it. But anybody with clear thinking watches that game and says to themselves, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in serious, serious trouble. Cam Heyward, he let it out of the bag today about the defense. He let it right out. Guys are just doing whatever they want and freelancing. You know what that means? That means the players have no respect for Coach Tomlin, Coach Austin, Art Rooney, and the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. And things need to change. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.